It's not just the camera.
It's
With the
just the
ring
camera.
on, mine is bigger than yours.
No, I have a whole
You
ass
got a
ring.
nail. You gave yourself a half a centimeter. Whoop-de-doo. Hi, guys. Welcome back to our series.
Again.
Again. You can't get rid of us, can you?
No. And we can't ever have like a pleasant, like floofy opening of perfectionism. It's always fingers and skin showing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh no, you're totally innocent.
Mm.
Hmm.
Me? Absolutely.
Oh yeah, you're an angel.
Oh, I'm a god.
Okay.
I just know how you love it when I say that.
Oh, I love it so much. Love it so much.
So, grab your guys' self a little drink.
Mm. Grab a drink.
Grab a
Buckle
drink.
in. We has our drinks. You know, as often as we do this, we're beginning to look like little alcoholics.
I don't care. Just because, it's not my fault. I said, every live we need a drink, or every recording we need a drink. And then we decided to come out with a recording like every day.
Yeah.
That's my fault.
I think it was just trying to work the alcohol into the daily, you know?
You know what? And
It
you
was
guys
not-
should do it too.
Mm.
Grab your little drink, grab your little smoke, grab your snacky snack. Where's my vapey vape? It's in my pocket.
Mm. So we're feeling refreshed, revived.
She has her crystal.
I sure do, damn it.
Honestly, after being called the ungodly number Alan called me, I'm never going to knock crystal again.
And you shouldn't. And you shouldn't. This is my. Now, if it could just, do what I want it to do here, we'd be great.
Where?
But here. Hmm.
What's there?
My little chin.
No, what's wrong with your little chin?
It's got more than one. As a family.
It's got a wife and kids.
A mortgage. Like, they won't go away. No.
Oh my god. Well, it's a beautiful family.
Thank you.
So, oh fuck my head. So today, guys, we're discussing like basically spiritual relations. I forgot that's what the title of this is, right? Spirit relations. I see it up there.
Mm-hmm.
So all things when it comes to just building relationships with spirits and kind of going from there. I understand my chin has extended.
I love it. Thank you.
Mm.
Oh, you're welcome. Anytime. We're full of them.
But we are. That we are.
Every
Thank
video,
you
we're like, ooh, that's a good topic. Ooh, that's a good topic.
After our good 20-minute conversation, why was that not recorded?
Right. We were, was it today or yesterday? We were talking about something, and I was like, see, that would have been a good video.
I don't remember, but what is heart of a chicken for?
What?
Oh, I know what this was for.
Yeah, that was for something else.
Oh my god, you remember? Yeah, that's exactly what it was for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's start. Okay, with the basic bare minimum. When you want to build spiritual relationships, where do you go to, April? Crescent, whatever your damn name is.
What was the question?
When you are building spiritual relationships, when you are seeking relationships with spirits, where do you go to?
We didn't talk about that earlier. Did we? I mean, yeah, okay, yeah, but I was thinking that there's got to be another place, right?
Yeah, ancestry.com.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, we're going there.
No,
Mm,
we're not.
yeah.
Mm-mm. My extended family's right here. Mm.
All right. Call on them. Call on all their powers.
Shut up. Anyway, the graveyard, yes, and you could go to your. I hate you. Your ancestry. I'm just gonna leave it there. You could
For now.
the astral,
The woods.
the woods,
Mhm.
the ocean.
I was waiting for that one. The ocean. The ocean is like a giant portal. If you've
Mhm.
ever been on a cruise ship in the middle of the middle of the ocean, in the middle of the night, you'll know that is a portal and there is some activity out there.
I would love to do that. I want to do
We
that.
will. We will.
We gotta pick a place.
There's a lot of
Bermuda.
places.
I'm gonna go to Bermuda.
Let's go. I've been there like 5 times.
I don't want to go if you've been there that much. It's boring for you.
I'll be honest. The Caribbean islands list is waning every time I go on a cruise. So let's go. Doesn't matter.
All right.
I've never been there with you.
Well, no.
See? Actually, that's where I was almost kidnapped with the chicken joke.
Fuck me up, really?
Yes, I was in a little store in Bermuda.
I mean, honey, you could still get kidnapped.
All right.
We could both get kidnapped. They could mistake both of us for children.
Yeah. It's not apparently not me. Ask Alan. He didn't even mistake me for a child.
Okay, first of all, he sees you from the neck up. Second of all, he hears you more than he sees you. So
Well, that's just a lie. You can't just listen to me, because then you're gonna think I'm 300 years old. I'm like,
right. And that's why he got your age wrong. It's your wisdom, your charisma, your timeless energy. Why am I buttering your bottom up today? Like, what the fuck?
I don't know. I like it.
Of course,
I got a smooth butt apparently, a buttery butt.
a buttery butt. I was gonna say balls. I don't know why. I buttered your balls, and then I remembered your
Is that a say? Buttering your balls?
butter your balls. No, remember your butter butt, your butter butthole.
Hold on. No, I want everyone to understand what that is. Okay.
Yeah, we don't have any confusion.
It was early in the morning, 12:14 p.m. to be exact, and I was in my kitchen.
Yeah.
Whose butthole is in my butter?
Well, first of all, you got to hold it still. Okay, there you go. That's the butthole butter.
That's the butthole butter.
So now it's all about buttery bums.
And I just want to know who sat in my butter before they packaged it up and sent it to my house, because that's disrespectful.
They knew you were buying it. They knew you were buying it. I've never had a buttery butthole. I've never had butter with a butthole on it. Oh shit, we're so off topic.
Oh Lord! If you don't remember, Alistair is what you said yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember.
Looking so good, gonna miss it around. Call it butter.
Okay,
Oh, wow.
I I said my thing. I'm keeping us on topic tonight. I said my thing. You say your thing. Where do you find your spirits? Where do you seek spirits at?
Not in my butter butthole, I'll tell you that.
Oh, I don't know. There's some spirits up there, I bet.
I had a slippery nipple, but no butter.
It's an acquired taste.
The new joint got there. Try it. Just try it. All right, so yeah, mostly I was thinking like graveyard, witches want to work with the dead or spirits of that sort of nature, you go to the graveyard, right? So let's talk a little more in depth when it comes to the etiquette that you should have and the respect you should have when working with graveyards.
Okay.
So let's take you out of your ecosystem and put you where I live. Okay. You've never been to any of my cemeteries. What would you do first going to a cemetery trying to find your cemetery? And maybe explain that. Like, okay, so by your cemetery, I just mean like a cemetery you feel the most connection and the most comfortability with this cemetery or graveyard. And you have, again, the best connection with the spirits. Now, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna be very rare to have a great relationship with every spirit inside that cemetery and graveyard. Odds are that's never gonna happen in your life. As long as you are a majority cool with the spirits, you're good in my eyes.
Now, when you say comfortability, do you also incorporate safety into being comfortable?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted that clarified. I knew what you meant, but I just wanted you to clarify.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Safety in all senses, with that being said. Physical,
yeah,
astral, whatever.
mental.
Hmm.
Um, well, okay. Since I haven't really found one here, I'll only speak on what I know from there. It took, so I had two. I had one in Toccoa, which is where mom lived, which was in the foothills, the Georgia mountains. And then there was one, well, two in uh, my immediate area of Norcross, which is the metro Atlanta area. And I would visit, okay, so I don't like to walk near people for exercise. It's weird to me sometimes and it gets on my nerves and people and they're even though I love animals, I have animals, I don't like to interact with other people's animals because they don't always interact well or they don't know how to leash their dogs or whatever the case may be. I want the least amount of people possible. And at night is when I like to walk the most because it's cool and it's dark and there's less people. All of those things.
It is. I mean, the cool aspect goes to like 80 degrees at night.
That's here, not in Georgia.
What's that like at night in Georgia?
It's like 60s, 70s.
Okay, 70s, I'm okay with. 60s, damn, yo, that's up here.
Yeah, I mean Georgia had seasons, bruh. Georgia had seasons, but like
70 degrees right now.
I don't know what it is here. But anyway, this cemetery, it was not like it had the what do they call it? Grave markers with the little flat ones that you just put the little flowers at. They're little flat grave markers. They're not headstones. It's just a little flatties.
Like Winifred's.
No, flatter, like flat to the ground. It's just a name
Oh,
thing, really.
oh, okay.
But it had a concrete path big enough for like a golf cart or maybe a tiny car.
Hmm.
And it was huge. So I would go there and walk at night and I started doing that. And then that relationship kind of built because I felt comfortable there. So yes, grave markers.
Hmm.
Um, thank you. So that for that one specifically, it started with me just needing to get out of the house and exercise because I have, I just can't settle sometimes and I have to like go walk. Um,
Did you live nearby or did you have to drive to this place?
it was like 2 miles from me. It wasn't far. Um, and it was local to other stuff. So you'd have to see the area to understand. It was like in the middle of everything. So like people could have like it could have been very busy. That thing's bothering me. But it wasn't because, people get creeped out by stuff like that. I don't. I prefer it. So that's how that relationship built. And then the one at mom's was out of necessity actually. Because there was something I had to do. I didn't have any dirt and I needed to do it. And this one was kind of like yours, where it went on forever and it was like rolling hills and little paths and trails. And it went from really new, like just
Yeah,
done,
so
really,
all the way back to
yeah, super
that's
old.
just like mine.
Hmm. and it was so pretty. And so I went over there one day and I was just kind of checking it out, and I just did a stroll, and I left an offering and I asked permission. I told them what I was going to do, and I, had a little conversation at the gate, and I was like, "Yo," I didn't say yo. Customer service
Oh,
voice came out. I used
girl,
my
let me
customer.
get some dirt.
Yeah, that would have gone over great. But I just like I went to shop around basically because I'd never been there. Mom had just moved there. It's like I could walk to that one. It was literally a quarter of a mile from her house. And I just kind of going there. So every visit I would go, I would go visit and sit. Like there was a couple trees you could sit under that were near graves, but not like right beside them. They were like off the path.
Yeah.
And, it was just really peaceful and calm. But I mean, there were things there that didn't like me doing certain things. I talked about that in the last video. When they do tell you no sometimes. You could go there a million times, and then one time you go and it's like, oh no, absolutely not. No matter where you go in the cemetery, it was an absolute no. And then I got to know the outer ring around. There's a little patch of woods behind the far right side. I'm dyslexic. It's probably the left. Anyway, there was a patch of woods on the fence line, and you could walk, and you could see that's where the groundskeeper would like take his trail around because there was like
Yeah.
the ruts where cars go,
Yeah.
and I would just like hang out back there, and that's where I found that it gets real chaotic back there because those spirits are unchecked. And but I never got scared, but I was wary. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
That's how, yeah, I feel like it should be, though. You know, if you feel fear, don't go there. You know what I mean? If you feel like you cannot handle, God forbid, whatever is there to come after you, then maybe you shouldn't go there.
Yeah.
But definitely be wary of what is there. And a battle could be a battle nonetheless, and it's something you don't have to go through, something you probably don't want to go through. So you just have, your respect, your boundaries, stuff like that.
Yeah. And I've never really had. So, okay, backstory of probably why I am the way I am. I have ADHD, and I was medicated from. I was medicated for a long time, like as an early child, like 6, 7 years old. And there would be times like between medication switches that I get this feeling, and I get it to this day, and I didn't know at the time. It's called anxiety. Hello. That you just can't, you're not comfortable in your skin, and you just got to move and you got to do stuff, but you don't really like pacing in your house makes people feel
Uncomfortable.
weird. Yeah. So I would just walk. Well, across the street at two of the different places I lived as a child had churches with like playgrounds attached to um, cemeteries or graveyards. And I would just sit at night. I would walk and I would go to the swings and I would swing while looking out at the graves. And it was the most peaceful I've ever been in my life.
Yeah.
And
That's
I guess
how,
I,
see, and it sounds weird, but if that swing set I went to that one night was in a cemetery, I'd probably feel safer.
yeah, you probably would have, you nut.
Yeah.
Homeboy just throws caution to the wind some nights. And he's like, I need to get out of the house. I don't know. Kind of like he's got ADHD. I need to get out of the house. I need to go do something. Let's go with no headlamp, no flashlight, no nothing, and swing in the middle of, I mean, literally like midnight. And just swinging. And then, oh, I think I see eyes. Oh, I think I see more eyes. You know what? It's probably time to go. Yeah, motherfucker, go. Talking about, can you see me? No, bitch, it's dark. You see nothing. Can't see shit.
It was a dark moon or around that too. And I
Yeah.
remember seeing the field like clear as day, which was weird.
Well, it's like
But
that bridge. But we had a light moon the other night, so there was a little light the other night.
yeah. But was it orange for you? Because it was orange for me.
It was orange, but like literally the cloud cover was so dense, I didn't get a full view of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say because it was orange, I didn't really get much light. I don't think. No, I didn't get any effing light. I remember walking in that graveyard needing that damn flashlight.
Exactly, Rowan. Except the eyes he thought were one thing ended up being a real thing that could have eaten him. So it was time to go
It
because
was
it
time.
was family.
Yeah, literally, I was just about to say because the family ended up getting there, and I don't have my family with me. I gotta
Right.
go.
Yeah. What am I gonna do on the other side of a phone? Run, bitch, run.
Freaking. Um. Oh, what was I gonna say?
Mm.
I don't even know. I don't even know. But
Yeah.
I don't know what I was gonna say.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
yes, I do. Reading that comment again because there was this when I was at the asylum, and I kept hearing things, and things kept calling my name, and I kept, well, Speaking of, something keeps calling my dad's name.
yes, yes. He's told you about it twice now.
Yeah.
Did you cleanse?
Mm.
Mm, I don't know, Rowan. I like the Appalachians. Like our camping trips have always been in the Appalachian Mountains, and that's actually I've never had I've had some creepy experiences, but I've never been scared. But I would not do that if I was like a normal person.
I mean, I've had a creepy experience. Like when we were at the graveyard, freaking, and I hear a woman inside that tomb,
The
or that
tomb, yeah,
mausoleum. Like that was creepy.
she was like right there too.
That was creepy. And
Yeah,
then I was up on the hill and I heard someone, and then I was called to a freaking tomb that shares the same name as my cat.
Phoebe. Mm.
Oh wow, that's so. I'm in New York, and yeah, no, my father is hearing
Well,
it.
we're getting close to the veil when it starts doing its thinning and
Yeah,
shitting.
that's what I mean. That's why, like, I don't feel anything. Oh, he said, "Oh yeah, I saw that bitch." I don't feel anything negative. You know what I mean? That's why, like, I'm not really going
Well,
towards anything.
yeah, that goes into the other topic that is in this that's on our list somewhere of yours. We didn't say psychic. We renamed it like feeling energy.
Oh, it's energy subtlety.
Yeah,
I will say, okay, so going back to, like, okay, the cemeteries, right?
I feel you, Rowan. That was like a in your face moment.
That was, yeah, no, I wish I could have gotten. I could, if I push, I could have gotten in there, but I didn't even feel the need to. Like, I didn't want to go in there.
No,
I'm
your
good.
phone did enough. Your phone in the hole did enough. Okay, it was
I think
enough.
right after that it dies,
Yeah,
and I swear it was on 20%. But anyway, um,
I'll be dying every 5 minutes.
listen, the battery is old. Like there was one crypt I was open.
Yeah, the
Like,
very center one. Remember?
yeah, yeah, like they were ready for someone.
Mm, very inviting. Yeah, it's probably because somebody's broken into it. It's probably when the door was kind of cocked open.
Yeah,
But
but
just to
so
clarify, we were all on the phone together when this happened. If nobody's picked up on that,
yeah, um, I will say, okay, the gatekeeper. I want you to bring up the gatekeeper of the cemetery.
of the one that you went to today, or just in general.
No, just in general.
Oh, why you got me bringing up all this stuff? You can talk.
Well, this one was, yeah. Go ahead.
Mhm.
I'll jump right on with you. Go ahead.
Then jump in, bitch.
Go ahead.
What part of the gatekeeper do you want me to talk about?
Well, in general, like who, like what is the gatekeeper? I guess. Let the
I'm not
people.
gonna say that on camera. I'm not gonna say that on camera. I'm not gonna because I'm not dealing with backlash tonight.
Okay. So the gatekeeper.
I'm not gonna be a bitch. Okay, fine.
Bitch. I'm fucking laugh.
All right, babe. Love you. Night night.
Night, Alan.
Night, everybody in YouTube world. I feel what?
I said, call me not my damn age.
He didn't
I
know.
get over it. I get
It's
it.
a compliment. You're frozen, by the way.
No, I'm not.
Yes, there you are. There you are.
No. Yeah.
Okay. Well, in my
You're
opinion,
not welcome.
when I think of a gatekeeper, yeah, I'm reading Rowan's comment. Sorry. Which you
There you go.
what?
Me too. I'm gonna highlight that just so everyone can
Okay.
read it.
To me, a gatekeeper is always male. That's going to be controversial to some people, but every time I refer to him that I got called out on today, it's a him. The gatekeeper is a male, and or a masculine deity. Let me say
Mm,
that, or
mhm.
entity, or something. Entity, not deity. And to me, it's always given masculine energy. There's a male at the gate, barring entrance
Mhm.
to me. But I got called out on that by somebody today. Now you can have the floor.
Okay, so so for me, right, the gatekeeper, I will say, as Rowan put it, it can be it can be a majority of things, right? Depending on the graveyard cemetery you go to, it can be the first person that was buried there, male or female. It can be the spirit there that's residing there that just happens to have most power, most energy, most control, whatever the case is. It could be an entity, whether it is a deity, whether it is an angel, whether it is a demon, whether it is just some unbeknownst entity, some type of spirit that we just can't comprehend. I don't know. Um, but or maybe it's just some type of spirit assigned to look after and gatekeep cemeteries and graveyards, so now whoever whatever the entity the gatekeeper is, they have control over who comes in, who comes out. They keep all the spirits in the cemetery. They reside over any workings or offerings or any happenings within the cemetery. They would usually be the first spirit to greet the new coming spirit. The gatekeeper plays a lot of roles. They are like, the head spirit, chief spirit of that cemetery. With that being said, anytime, like I've said before in my last video, anytime I and maybe even we enter and leave cemeteries, we leave offerings for when we get there and when we leave. We leave offerings for the gatekeeper and for all the spirits that reside. And we usually announce specifically, like, to the gatekeeper that, like, I'm here to do A, B, and C,
Yes.
whatever the case is. I thank you for for protecting me, allowing me respect, whatever the case. Ask permission, whatever you want to do, and leave your offerings. And then if you have the way in, continue moving forward. Not everybody's gonna get a yes, mind you. And
Yeah.
yeah, you can think, well, what about all the people that just walk in and walk out whenever they feel? A lot of the times, huh?
No, go ahead. Finish what you're going to say because we didn't talk about this earlier, but we should.
I was gonna say a lot of the times, because again, you got to think, a lot of people don't know to even do such things, and so sometimes the gatekeeper will see the person's intent and true nature of why they're there, and if they're just here to see someone or do something, whatever, they'll let you in. However, that's not to say a lot of people do get hurt by just going in and going out, especially because maybe of certain things they do inside the cemetery. So don't think, oh, everybody's just getting away scot clean, because they're not.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if we were done. That being said, the average normal human going in and out is normally there for a specific purpose, like to visit a relative, to pay homage to an ancestor. And I'll piggyback off something he said where like your intention is known at the jump. You're not going to get anything past the gatekeeper. But normal people, I feel like, have less of a time getting through and being granted passage because they're normal, basic, mundane humans. Spiritual people have more of a harder time because our intentions are always different and varied.
Right.
So that's why we typically tend to feel the need to pay our respects, ask our permissions, because we do know the dangers of what we're walking into. We know what we can bring home with us, what could be there, what could not be there. Like we're more attuned to those environments where a normal, average, mundane human isn't. So
Correct.
they're kind of bliss is ignorance, or ignorance is bliss.
Ignorance is bliss. I knew what you meant. Yeah. And that's another time to piggyback right onto that too. When you, again, like we said before, before you go in, cleanse yourself. When you leave, most importantly, when you leave, cleanse yourself, ground yourself. Like she said before, and I'm not gonna lie, girl, I've been doing it ever fucking since you said it. Grab onto those iron bars, neutralize your energy, stable yourself, continue moving forward.
Did you find that okay? Because it was you and your friend. I didn't know
Yep.
if you want to put his name out, but
You can, it don't matter.
you and Quentin went, and when you did that, did you feel different? Exactly the same? Did you have any variation
So all right,
experience?
so I can speak on both of us because he told me how he felt, and I can tell you how I feel. So first, I'm gonna speak on me real quick. It definitely, when I grab onto the bars, instantly when I grab on, you can feel a type of switch in your energy, and then I'll chant my Tiberesco Tibenedicto Aritiptego, and that really helped. Like it was kind of like a blast, you know what I mean, of
Mhm.
neutralizing cleansing energy. And he said that before he did it, he felt such a heavy weight on his shoulder from, you know, and then when we were done, he said he felt that instantly lift off, and he feels like it didn't even happen. And I was like, yeah. And then I told him to,
Namaste.
take your shower and do your thing. Huh?
Namaste. You're welcome.
I love it. Keep doing that. So, all right, choke on it.
I did. I did. Oh, you mean that?
So, no, I'm coughing. So, so you want to discuss about how your turn to discuss about how you go about offerings, or like what it's like when you go into cemeteries specifically with the intent of you're doing witchcraft, and maybe we should. How would you also maybe feel if it was like a like because there's some cemeteries that are like Catholic, Christian, whatever only. Go ahead.
Mm. Okay, so I told you about my friend Ben that was Jewish.
Yep.
That was laid to rest separate from his family because he died by his own hand. That cemetery required more because one, it's not my, they're not any of them my faith, but like it's a very foreign faith to me, even though he was a very deeply close friend to me and we'd been there for other things, involving his family. It wasn't my place. So offerings there were a little bit different. I would bring things relative to the culture of being Jewish, what they like, don't like, whatever. And so stones that get placed on top, stuff like that, and um, or a necklace, a Star of David, stuff like that.
Right.
Something, not anything super expensive, just a token of I recognize where I'm at,
Hmm.
and I'm being respectful because I am trying to pay my respects.
Right.
I never did workings there, but I would go and visit him because I felt horrible, you know. Um, but now at a Catholic church, it's a little bit different. I take wine, those little bottles of wine you can buy.
Where?
What?
I know shooters.
Yeah, little airplane bottles.
Yeah, but like, where do you get the wine? I just get the liquor stores.
Yeah.
All right, see, I'm just out here going to like the fucking deli, and I see they got the shooters, and I'm like, all right,
The liquor store, even the one across the street, has little bottles of like Zinfandel and Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. I can't say that one, but you know what I mean.
noir.
That, sure. Noir. They like their wine. The Catholics love their wine. So, but if I go to,
Holy water.
yeah, holy water. Um, okay, so here's a controversial one. And this has to do with my personal DNA that I just recently found out about, like last year. Shut up. Now, I'm not going into that one.
Oh, you just wait. You just wait.
But if I visit, because in the area that I live in, we have a lot of specifically African American cemeteries, Methodist, African American Methodist cemeteries. So to visit them, I bring different things, different offerings, more to that culture of like the gullah, or although that's not my specific heritage, but it's the only African
Right.
it, due to the place that I live in, and those offerings are a little bit different. Um, but I've only done that once, and I'll be honest, I wasn't very welcome, even though I have it on my phone. I don't look it. You know what I mean? So I had to be respectful, and I was utterly respectful. And I get it. I totally understand, but like I felt some type of way
Were
about
you
it.
not welcomed by the living or the dead?
The dead, the dead. But I think honestly, I went and I was nervous. I was nervous, and I think that played a lot into how I was received because
Is that somewhere near you?
yeah, it's right by the hospital.
Or maybe just try again.
I should. I haven't though because I was like I did feel some type of way about it,
Yep.
and I shouldn't have because it's not for me to judge.
Yeah, I should have felt bad that my tree said no to me, no to a hug. But I
But you
felt
did.
a type of way. I feel a type of way
Yeah,
because I tried going back a second time, like a different time, and it was still a no. I'm like, I'm just not coming back. Appreciate it, but not
thanks but no thanks. I
right.
get it, but I try to be specific to the culture.
Right.
That's all I can really say. Specific, respectful, and
All
if
right.
I'm okay, but I didn't touch on the working part. So
Mm-hmm. Now, like, yeah, say, all right, now going to like just any old cemetery, you're going there with the intent of doing witchcraft, of doing working. Doesn't matter what kind of working, unless what you're doing depends on what you're doing. You know
right,
what I mean? And like, if you do things differently, if you want to touch on that, feel free. But basic intent, you're going to a graveyard to do witchcraft. How do you go about doing that? Because it's different than just going to visit.
yeah. A lot of times I'll leave money for that. I don't know if that's frowned upon. Basically,
Why would it be frowned upon? I mean, not here.
well, I know not here because we've extensively talked about it, but like I leave money, I leave liquor, I leave fruit. If it's a lighter working, I'll leave fruit, flowers.
Feel like,
Yeah. So, and then my exit offering is normally something similar. Like I'm going to do it twice or have something in the opposite direction, depending on if it's a heavy, okay. If it's a heavy work, like it's a heavy working, I'm leaving liquor. I'm leaving tobacco. I'm leaving honey. I'm leaving milk, you know. But you can leave something as simple as water. Like
yeah, that to me is a universal offering.
yeah.
Mm. So now I'm gonna also ask you this because I'm gonna answer the witchcraft working thingy too. But
Hmm.
I want to ask you when is there do you leave offerings every time you go to the cemetery, or is it just when you're doing witchcraft?
No, I try to leave something.
Yeah, okay. So I'm with you there, where it's like just because you're not doing witchcraft, don't mean don't be leaving offerings. Always
Yeah.
leave offerings. But anyway, bringing it back to when it comes to witchcraft, yeah, for the most part, I'll go when I get there, offerings. I'll be guided to the exact spot that I need. Like last night, there was a working I've done in the past in the area I was in. And because of that, I was like, let me not work in that same area. But the spirits wanted me to. And
I have a topic that just came to mind about that topic that you just said that we have not covered. We haven't talked about yet.
okay,
I'm going to try not to forget it this time.
write it down.
Okay.
So, um, anyway, I'll go to where I need to go. And I'll leave offerings. First things first is I'll leave offerings. Then I'll call on whoever I got to call on and invoke whoever is there. And whoever is willing to participate, as long as they're not here to hurt me, go against my intent, whatever. If you are here to do that, you can find yourself elsewhere, you know? Um, so I have everyone come to me and I'm protected with the God, and like, it's including the gods first, the angels, demons, whatever the hell to protect, to whatever, to help. I'll leave the offerings, invoke, continue the work. I'll do this. I'll do the witchcraft. I'll do the spell work. My offerings usually it really just depends, but if I don't have anything, it will either be money or water, or both of those and much more. You know what I mean? Or one or the other and much more. So I'll do the work, complete it, give more offerings on top. I'll leave, say my protections. I'll like wish everybody farewell and send them back from wherever they came. Do my protections, walk away. I don't look back unless it's like days later and I'm checking on whatever. But I don't look back. I just walk away and I leave the cemetery. Give my offerings. But when I'm doing witchcraft, I don't tend to hang around because I still have work after the witchcraft to do, like cleansings and stuff like that. So I'm not here to like just walk around and like normal. Like I'll do that another time. So I'll just leave, give my offerings at the gateway, get outside, cleanse, neutralize, continue forward.
All good things. Do you want me to touch on what I was thinking about?
Yes. Before you do, I want to answer this real quick. Along, if you want to answer this as well, how often is it that something will follow you from home from the graveyard? Not often, as long as I do what I do.
Mm-hmm.
It's rare. Huh?
I was going to say exactly what you're about to say, so go ahead and finish it.
It's rare, and when I do, I'll know immediately, and I'll immediately jump in. You know what I mean? And if there's times, I'll like go into hardcore cleansing modes and protections when I get back to the house, but it's very rare when something does. And usually when it does, I can get it out before I even get home. And that's why you got to have the protections in your car as well.
I'm sorry, do we have a witch bag in the car now? Okay.
You had to hit me there. I have other charms in there.
I know.
It's not just one thing.
I know.
She hurt.
I'm sorry.
You were hurt. Here.
What? I'm sorry. Not really, but okay.
Right. Don't bullshit me. All right. Have you ever come across someone else working in the graveyard? You have?
Yeah.
I have.
Workings, not working. Workings. Like
Wait,
someone
what?
else's.
Oh, someone else is working. Oh, still no.
No, really?
I mean, okay. I will say I saw it looked like a bag of shit tied to a tree, but I don't know if that was witchcraft or something got caught up in the wind.
Yeah, that's true. Like sometimes it is hard to tell.
I don't know.
I know that there were spots that Tequila's taking me. You can see them, like they're there.
Really?
That wasn't. Never mind. That wasn't in a graveyard though, so never mind. That was somewhere else.
I was gonna say, yeah, no, I've never. I'll be real. If you go to my places and you see witchcraft, it ain't someone else.
Right. Now I have come across it a couple times where I've seen little things, little trinkets, little things, and it could have been something as simple as an offering, or somebody hung somebody up and did a working. You know what I mean? But to answer the other question, it's exactly what you said. It's rare that something attaches, but it does happen occasionally. Like, I mean, less than 5 times I've ever had that happen.
When I went to the asylum to collect your dirt, it tried to happen, but not in a malicious way.
Just get me the fuck out of here.
It was yeah. I needed to say my protections nonstop until I got off the property, and then I had to do a cleansing because.
Yeah.
Again, when it comes to the asylum, though, even if it's not malicious, they don't know.
Right. It could be very manipulative.
So That's okay. So that's on graveyard etiquette
Oh
alone.
wait, let me this
Oh,
thing.
please, please,
This
please.
thing. So how I know how I feel about it. I don't know how you feel about it because we've actually never talked about this.
Ooh, don't
Um,
say work. Don't say working between graves, and then you're gonna tell me you never worked between graves.
we're not gonna go there again today. No, this is something totally different. But something you said that now I can't remember sparked me to want to ask this.
Yeah.
Bad workings in the same spot multiple times.
Okay. Okay. Yes, but okay. All right, all right, all right, all right. And this is where I will say, because I know what I said to make you say this,
Okay.
and I will say the working prior to the working, the one that I was like, I don't want to go over there. It was still a death working. It wasn't a negative sense. It was still like it's all metaphorical, but this particular death working for me was to quit my habits. You know what I mean? When
Okay.
you're trying to, bind someone up from conflicting harm, whole other different story.
Well, that's what I mean. Like when you're there for you're doing the right thing in a bad way or a dark way.
Hmm.
Do you use the same area or do you do different areas that way that area can eventually come to peace?
Well, so normally, yes. Again, I will say in this case, I figured all things lied under death, so all, if, no matter how it's associated, trying to stop someone's influence, trying to stop a bad habit, trying to stop an entity, whatever the case, if it all goes in the same death area, that's a good thing. However, you don't want to put a good working as if like a protection spell or a money spell or a love spell or whatever the case next to a curse that's going to bind your coworker. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or bind a family member, whatever the case is.
Okay. That's similar to how I practice. We've never actually talked about that before.
Now, I will also say, if you keep burying darker workings with darker workings,
This
it's
is
like
where I'm leading to.
huh?
This is where I'm leading to.
It's like poisoning the earth in a sense. And
Yes.
it's a very easy way to create servitors.
Yes. I didn't
Because there's
think
going to
about
be
that.
a lot of energy there that's built up. I know because I used to have what I used to call a cursed graveyard. However, I will also say if you're going to choose to make servitors, just know that the bitches get strong enough, they will turn against you if they're made of that kind of energy. I'm not speaking from personal experience
No, you're not.
at
Never
all.
you. Never you.
But as long as you don't maybe do that energy, that power, whatever you bury would be intensified so much more because now you're harnessing the power of all the other curses that's been buried there.
Hmm. Yes, which sounds amazing in a sense for a working, but that's why I said what I said. You have it to at some point let the land heal, unless your purpose is super nefarious and you're trying to just destroy the earth and curse the world.
I don't know who would do that.
No, not you. You're sweet and innocent.
I'm a good witch.
We are. I mean, you are.
Yeah.
You
Someone
are.
feeling a little guilt right there. We are, damn it.
We are. Okay, I had another controversial thing to say that again we have never talked about. Body fluids.
Talk to me. Do you ever notice how this eye seems to never open, but this
Open
eye
all
is always
day.
open? Huh?
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
always.
You didn't need to do that. Is that what I look
You brought it up. You
like?
brought you up.
Because I always notice it, and I'm like, but like, do you see like it's my like weak side? I swear I've never had a stroke.
No, there's a term for it.
Non-dominant.
No, you wish. It's called a lazy eye.
All right. Now, yeah, don't say that because I used to call it tea. Never mind.
Hmm.
Nothing.
Okay. Well, put a pin in that. So, bodily
My
fluid.
brain's getting me back.
Yes or no?
Mm-mm. Well, yes, of course. I will say, what bodily fluid? What are you doing?
Well, and that's the point. I know a lot of people that would say 100% no to spit, blood, urine. I'm not even going to say fecal matter.
No,
Gross. But
no.
like spit, blood, urine, something easily done. Some people are 100% against it. And then I'm on the fence of like, well, what are we doing?
Yeah. What are we doing?
you
What are we doing?
I'm not. Now, I will say, in a lot of cultures, spitting is like, negative. But
I can be so.
I know
So
you can. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Um, but like, you could use all of those things as offerings. You can do all of those things as activators. You could do all of those things as sealers to top off and cap. Um, so to me, I understand where people would be like, absolutely not. But I'm of the mind of, what are we doing?
exactly. No, I agree with you. In any case, really, all for it. I think I've done every. No, I don't know. I don't know what I've actually done. I don't have a record. I'm sure I've done everything, if not mostly everything. I will say I'm not gonna just whip it out and start pissing on the ground though. Like what?
No. Why would you know?
Exactly. No, I'm not gonna do that. But like, you know,
Yeah.
if it was like in a jar,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. A container, a vessel was used. Don't be just out here willy nilly weeing on stuff.
That's I think illegal.
Pretty sure, especially if
So
somebody sees.
don't do that. That's disrespectful. Because I understand where people come from in the disrespectful sense. I do.
Mhm.
However, I will also
You're
say,
peeing on graves. We're not spitting on graves. We're not putting blood on graves. Like, we're not out here doing that.
right,
But for working specifically, which is done normally away from
right. First of all, I will also say, oh, that's we're gonna go into that. I will also say though that say hypothetically speaking, if I was to do, a working where I'm trying to, avert an evil eye or something, right? And I bring it to the graveyard to end and to like bring death upon their evil eye and their influence or whatever, right? Spitting, I can at least tell you in Italian culture, is known to avert the evil eye.
yeah,
Say I take whatever, my working, bury it, dirt, dirt, dirt.
yeah, 3 spits.
Exactly. And so, I mean, I think the spirits would be like, yeah, not like, that's disrespectful.
Right. But that goes back into that energy. What energy are you bringing to the table to do the
Right.
work?
Right. Okay. Let me see this because you just reminded me of something, and I thought maybe we cleared all topics when it comes to this.
We have been talking about this all day.
Oh, and we've already been here for 53 minutes.
I know, and we have not finished
This
either.
is going to be a longer video. Grab your drink again.
Yeah, Rowan, it's like making a graveyard in a graveyard. You're exactly right.
So, walking on graves.
No, I try not to.
I try not to. Don't really do it. I feel like that's disrespectful. Good way to get someone to come home with you.
Yeah. I mean, think of the proverbial hand coming up and grabbing you.
Exactly. Don't take anything from the graveyard that A, you don't ask for. B, do not take anything from graves. Don't even ask. What don't no. Doesn't
No.
matter what you think. Even if it's a leaf that's on a tombstone, don't take it. That ain't yours, bro. That ain't yours. I will
No.
say, to really go into depth into when we work in graveyards, we don't work at the graves. Our graveyard dirt does not come from the tombs of dead soldiers, dead infants, dead people with broken hearts, or suicide people. Like, we don't do that. I try not to, and will apologize profusely.
Yeah. Same.
I agree with you, because sometimes you misstep, or it's a weird angle, or whatever the case. You can't 100% avoid it.
Or you get pulled to something like you did today. You got pulled to something.
That was weird.
But you immediately you were like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
You know.
So, with that being said, again, okay, graveyard dust. If you've ever heard of collecting the dust from someone's tomb, not our thing, not our style. If you want, and I was explaining this to Crescent earlier, if you're doing a protection working, right? Okay, because when we collect our dirt from the outskirts or other places where there's no graves. Do you know how many crossroads there are in graves? And I'm bougie, Crescent, and I'm the bougie one. Here, homegirl's doing the same thing as me. Thank you, Lady Witch.
Okay,
I'm gonna show this one.
You know what? You need to calm down because you boozy. You are just. She doesn't know the level.
Talking about how bougie I am for this.
She doesn't know how bougie your butt is.
Okay, it's like almost empty, so I gotta get more. But what does that say right there, Crescent? Can you read it for the people?
No, because your handwriting sucks. Grave crossroad. Grave crossword. Crossword puzzles. Crossroad dirt.
Thank you. Yes. Probably more potent than just the regular graveyard dirt.
Not gonna argue. Not
However,
saying you're bougie.
However, you heard that, Lady Witch? She called you bougie. However,
she can be bougie. You can't.
It's a problem. It's all right if they do it. It's a problem when I do it. So, yeah. So we get her from the outskirts where there's no graves, whatever. If you want if you're doing a protection spell though, right? And you want the dirt of a dead soldier, right? Or maybe just their influence, because I think that's what people are looking for when they go to stuff like that. This is what you do. Did I draw it in this book?
You drew it.
I think I did.
I feel like it's yeah, it's by the list.
Yeah, okay. All right. We're gonna For example, okay. Don't read the list too hard, guys. I'm gonna show you quickly. This whole book, right? You can't see it, right?
Can't read it anyway.
Is the cemetery, okay? Now instead of getting your cemetery over here, right? You see the cemeteries over here? These are the graves of dead soldiers, okay? You see this little path right here? That's the walking path, okay?
No one can see that, babe. No one can see that. I'm just saying you're pixelated. No one can see the shit.
Don't look at my drawings.
He draws very well. He's just
no, he doesn't. All right, now you're lying to people.
I'm not lying.
Oh, there's a fucked up, very basic tree right here. Get the dirt from over here because proximity. I'm gonna need you to shut up. Proximity, right? If y'all understand proximity, don't get it from the soldiers' graves, but get it close to them because with intent, you can harness their influence because it's greater because of proximity and use their spirits that way.
You,
Preston, I'm sorry, I keep saying your damn name.
It's okay.
Like a disrespectful.
It's okay. I know you. It's all right. You are a disrespectful asshole to me all the time.
But don't tell people that.
Was it a secret?
It was.
Not now. We're only here all the time. You disrespected me and being mean to me, bullying me, pushing me around, telling me what to do.
Do you know why?
No, I don't. You don't.
That's because I'm,
a god.
But
a god.
No.
Oh, a Leo. Anyway, I'm not dealing with you. Oh.
All right, next topic. All right, all right, all
You
right.
know what I have to deal with? This is what I have to deal with every day.
And she chooses that. Just so you guys know, don't feel bad for her. Whatever you do.
I need all the Phyllis bads. All the Phyllis bads.
So, one of the reasons we go to the cemetery is to build relationships with the spirits there, right? Again, you don't go there if you're mostly denied. You know what I mean? You go there when you mostly can build relationships with the spirits out there, whether your family is buried there or not. Okay? Some of those spirits at the cemetery may end up becoming part of your spiritual family. Okay? Now, to enhance spiritual family, you have to build relationships with spirits. Oh,
Stop it. My nose needs attention.
like, do I gotta grab a rose quartz or something?
If you want to get on my level, yeah.
All right. How would you go about building relationships with spirits? Want me to go off on a few? I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. Spending time in graveyards, right?
Check.
Okay. Meditation.
Check.
If you
Sorry.
meditate near certain graves or meditate in places where like that or just feel very spiritual, or if you know that have spirits, if you meditate, you can tune in and meet the spirits that are around, whether they're just the spirits of your home, spirits of your family, spirits of the dead, entities, whatever. If you meditate and kind of go in like an astral world kind of sense, or just in an alpha state mind, you'll be able to contact and have communication, necromancy, with the spirits that are in the beyond.
Wait, I want to
Offering,
say something. I want to point out something because you said meditate,
I did
meditate,
say
and
that actually.
whatever. Anyway, benches. A lot of graveyards have benches that you can sit and like
Yeah.
meditate.
Oh my God. So I've been called to a few benches.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I was called to the bench I showed you. That's why I didn't really go. But
Mm-hmm.
there was one bench, and it's very hard to find because my cemetery, swear to God, moves.
Maybe. I mean,
I'm gonna get one. That's actually a great idea. Thank you, Lady Witch. Okay. And
you have no
biggest
idea.
part when building relationships, and you're gonna go on the whole rant right here when I say energy subtlety.
Oh, am I supposed to rant right now?
Yep. You can hit that.
Okay. Originally, the word we were going to use was like attune your psychic ability, but we realized that even not every witch is attuned to psychic abilities. Some people haven't unlocked that. Some people don't use it at all. But you should, at the very least, be able to read energy and feel energy. You don't have to be able to see it, smell it, touch it, or taste it, but you have to be able to see it. Or I guess, yeah, you have to be able to see it. That was stupid. Feel it. Sorry, feel
Feel
it.
it.
You
Feel
gotta
it.
feel it. Um, like it's like walking into a room and feeling a shift. So okay, in management, all right, you walk into a room and everybody shuts up. That's an obvious shift. If you go into a place like a cemetery and you immediately get a heavy feeling, or if you're lighthearted, just those subtle changes, even in atmosphere, like you need to be able to feel that out. That
Pick
way
up
you can recognize, yeah, pick up on it, recognize it for what it is. A lot of people can't do that, and that's okay. But it helps tremendously if you can do that at the bare minimum. That wasn't a rant.
I mean, that was beautiful, though.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, yeah, um, energy subtlety, like okay, when I was being called to the certain tomb or like certain grave, and when I was called to certain benches, I know because of the energy subtlety. When I was on the phone earlier and I was called to the grave, I felt immense energy, like legit, what felt like being pulled in my left arm and really in my left hand, and it was legit like a magnet trying to like pull me closer to it. And I
Okay.
went to the tomb, and it was her name. It was weird. Didn't like it. What are you trying to tell me? Don't take her away. I'll hurt you. Maybe
You
it
know,
was
it
that she's with me.
could be the embodiment of her original body.
That's what I was like. What if it was crazy? Like, what if that was my daughter in the past life running away now? Imagine I was Phoebe in a past life.
I don't think so.
I was a guy. I
She's
know.
too sweet.
You know what else helps
What?
building relationships?
What?
Repetition.
Yeah, yeah. Visiting a place consistently and actually letting them get to know you and your intentions and your mindset and your energy, your vibration.
Constantly going to give offerings, constantly going to just chit chat, whatever the case. Maybe you're going to clean tombstones. You know,
Mm,
whatever it is that you do, you constantly go there. You know what I mean? And you give respects. You know, is a great way to build relationships with particular and specific spirits. Constantly keep going to the same cemetery. You'll really gain favor as long as you act right and know how to be respectful with the gatekeeper of the cemetery. And when you do that, I'll be real. It's no matter what spirit is in there, you can't go against that gatekeeper. Um,
no.
with that being said, also respect. If you know how to have respect, you're good. And I think a lot of things when it comes to respect is when you walk in there with protection, it's kind of like I feel like spirits, the right ones, respect you for that because that tells them that you're aware.
Right. You're not a fool.
Exactly, more than anyone else. And that's also what gets people to pay attention to.
Hmm. And
That,
what you wear and your amulets can draw spirits to you.
with that being said, keep yourself cleansed and grounded, and you'll be good.
Um, I think your entrance is like a general.
So for me, here, let me highlight that. So
That's a
people,
good question.
so gifts for everyone or just specific spirits. Now, for me, the gate offerings. I agree with you, Crescent. They're for everyone. They're for the
Mm.
gatekeeper, and they're for everyone there. Um, okay, so when I go give offerings, in reality, the only ones not welcome to the offerings are those who would deem hurt me, go against my intent, go against the spirits that like whatever like they are just not for me and my energy. So they are closed off, and my spirits that are would help protect me from those. But for the most part, no, yeah. Anyone else, they gain access to the offerings. For me, I also do like a little thing with I like invoke all the elements. Like I'll invoke fire to purify, water to cleanse, air to also cleanse, you know, to blow away all the energy that is unwanted and, you know, undivine, make it pure and divine, and add earth to make it infinite. So, like, say, you know, like if you offer a glass of water, people like spirits can come up to that water, pick it up, and that glass of water will still be there, and everyone can take from it. You know what I mean? It's an
Mhm.
infinite offering for a while.
Yeah.
So everyone can have access. You know, if I give flowers to the grave, you know, I tell people, come take flowers, take some for your family, take some for your friends, take those for your neighboring graves who don't come. You know, just take as many as you want, take as little as you want. It's there, and because it's the energy and that essence is what you're really offering, not that physical item.
Hmm.
That's what sustains the spirits.
Yeah. I agree.
Hmm.
I agree.
Take that back.
I can't help the nap is gone.
The nap, the nap was like 2 hours ago.
I know.
So, all right. Going into now your spiritual family and what that is and like you know stuff like that. Ancestors, there's no ancestors.
I
So
can't sleep on this now. I
no, huh? You
I'm
can't
not
speak on this.
no.
No, well, you couldn't because it was a great idea because I thought, you know, Crescent over here didn't really work with
I
her.
ain't gonna put my shit on blast. God,
But when she was telling me about the spirits she works with,
he's gonna make me look dumb.
she literally works with the spirits of her ancestors. So I tried having a good idea and having some difference for everyone, but that didn't work.
I can relate to it post a year ago, or yeah, because I didn't find out my heritage until this last year, so I can still talk on it prior to.
All right. Well, with that being said, what advice would you give to a witch who says, like they don't have ancestors to work with, so they feel like they can't work necromancy?
Well, I feel like you don't. Okay, I don't know what kind of crap I'm gonna get for this.
I
I
was
don't.
just say it. You give her crap, I block you.
Don't say that.
Why?
I'm
Can't come
open
after
to
my
criticism, just not being mean and
just-
rude.
Yeah, well, I block mean people.
Yeah,
It's cold.
I
You don't have to agree with us, but don't be mean to us.
right. That's not nice.
We're nice. And we're nice.
We are nice.
She can be mean to me, and I can only be mean to her.
Oh my gosh, I'm not ever mean to you. Spreading lies. Um, fix your face.
I think that's what you just did.
Mhm.
Spreading lies.
Shh. Uh, um. Okay, so prior to knowing my ancestry and my history, I didn't have any ancestors in my house, in my mindset, because I never could really connect with anything specific. Like some people, like him, for example, he can just tap into it. He knows all the things, and he feels them. And I never really, I never really could pull that, which always made me feel like a bad person or a bad witch or whatever. And then we did the DNA thing, and I do find myself now kind of doing something I didn't realize I was doing.
Working with her ancestors because yeah, she literally calls to them.
Fuck
Like,
off with your bullshit tonight.
I don't know how she didn't know what she was doing.
Sometimes things just don't connect for me, okay? I dye my hair. This is not my natural hair color, okay? Actually, it very much is,
No,
but
it actually probably is, but
it is. I have almost black hair. This is just blacker than normal.
she doesn't act like she has black hair.
I do have blonde moments. Yeah, that's very mean to blonde people. We don't know.
I didn't say it. You did.
Okay, well, anyway, I had some silly moments of not really comprehending what the fuck I was saying and doing it without knowing that I was doing it, even though I was doing it. But in the course of a conversation this evening and being called out of my skin by somebody, I and being threatened, might I add. He threatened to throttle me.
What? Throttle you?
Yeah, you threatened to
Well, yeah.
I don't know what the hell your throttle means, but my throttle means like pummeling somebody. Um, but like, so I have
That's a nightly threat with you.
what?
That's a nightly threat I give to you.
I know. Ugh. But like, okay, so I have Sweden, Denmark, and Norway, right? Those are very heavy in my ancestry. The African part is literally just 1%, but I like to honor it, so whatever. But I do find myself trying to call on the power of like the Norse side of my heritage because I very much like embody that and like as a person. As someone always says, I'm very masculine. Very masculine. I have masculine energy.
You got a bigger dick than me.
Huh?
I said you got a bigger dick than me.
You're right. You're right. Moving on. But I didn't realize that's what I was doing. So you can do things and not realize you're doing them, and that doesn't make you a complete waste of space as a human. It just makes you silly and not really thinking about what you're saying and doing.
But now with everybody, with that being said, I do want to share something,
No.
Everybody can either start an ancestor altar to start working with their family. whether it's your actual bloodline or just witches who has practiced before or pagans who have practiced before or whatever religion you are. Um, you can go as little as to getting a chalice for your working altar and keeping that filled with water once a week, lighting a specific candle and maybe saying, you know, words.
Do y'all hear the tone? Do y'all hear the tone? There's a tone. There's a tone. It's in the tone.
I don't know what she's talking about.
Oh.
The tone. It's in the tone. So just throwing that out there to also build relationships with your spirits. Can build that ancestor altar. I have met ancestors that I didn't even know I had until working with the ancestor altar. And they came to me because I made the connection to go to them. Like attracts like, builder relations, stronger power.
Do you want to get any closer? Fix your face. Fix your face.
You don't.
Yes.
So with that being said, um spirits, for example, that can be part of your spiritual family. You know, like give a couple of different like ideas of who would be in someone's spiritual family.
I was gonna until I went blank. This is not talking about the familiars, is it?
Not yet.
Okay. Um,
Like gods, whatever
deities.
deity you
Okay.
work with. Yeah,
Yeah. I sorry. Um, your deities, your saints, your
angels,
angels,
demons,
demons, any entity that you work with consistently that has done good work for you or done work for you, really could be in your spiritual family.
right? Those
Uh,
that have repetition and consistency with working with you.
and trust. I feel even though that's kind of an odd way to put it, with something you can't, that's not tangible. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but do you trust your microwave?
don't ask me that. I'm old school.
No,
I do things.
right? You should.
Oh, I'm
At least
sorry.
you
Do
don't
you
put the
want to hear?
pizza in
No, I don't put the pizza in the microwave. I put the pizza in the oven. I'm not savage. I mean, I am technically, but okay. So there's a level of trust that comes with working with these things because you have to know that they're going to do what you're going to do or do what they're asked to do. You know what I mean? So there is that weird level of trust that you can't just like light a candle and burn some bay leaves and expect it to just do its thing on, like you have to have something attached to,
right?
in my opinion. In my opinion.
No, I agree. Yeah,
Is, do you have any? Yes. Yes. Yes, I do.
definitely. Show her.
Anyway, see, yeah, it's not okay. Can we just take into account that he does it to me all the time? The whole distracting thing. Anyway, there are everybody that you work with on a regular, even if it's a working for this, you use this specific deity, spirit, god, angel, demon for this working, or you use this particular spirit, god, angel, demon for this working, you're working with them. You're forming a relationship, a bond, a level of trust, a level of understanding, and they are who you go to when you need somebody to go to bat for you.
Mhm.
Did I leave something out?
No, definitely. Even servitors, you know, if you create servitors, golems, whatever, they're part of your spiritual family. You know what I mean? All right. Final topic for the night is familiars.
Okay.
Okay.
No,
Want to tell the people?
no, no. You want to tell the people. You do. I just told them a whole bunch of stuff. Your turn.
Okay, familiars. So, what's a familiar? Right.
What is a familiar?
A familiar, in my opinion, in my practice, right, is a spirit similar to like your spirit guide in a sense, but your familiar is like your partner in crime on the other side. Whether you have one or many, they are your most like if you need to call up a certain specific spirit that you know very well constantly over and over and over again to do some type of task for you, 9 times out of 10 that can be known as your familiar. Familiars can come in spiritual forms or physical forms, like in the forms of animals, insects, bugs, whatever the sense. You know, for example, I have my own familiar that is in a physical form, my cat Phoebe. Um, but I also have a spell when if you want to work with a specific, say, spirit animal and make them your familiar, a constant relationship, you can cast this particular spell and you could have that bond as long as they accept, kind of like in the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina when she went out into the woods and called out for a familiar, kind of
Mm-hmm.
like that, but you know who you're calling out to, you know what I mean? Some
Mm-hmm.
people maybe not, I don't know, they'll just let in anyone. But and I mean, and that's kind of the thing too. Sometimes when it comes to familiars, unless you seek them, any entity will seek you. Or like I mean, it's a rare thing. I feel I've heard in the witch world when a familiar actually chooses you, it's a rare thing, and most witches go lives without. But if you, but it's kind of like, yeah, whatever entity could call on you to be your familiar, and you kind of just work with the flow. Kind of like with animals, you don't choose if you get a spider, snake, cat, dog, parrot, reptile. Like you don't choose what your familiar might be. They choose you. So same thing with you don't decide what entity chooses you. And
Yeah.
for all you know, yeah, that looks like a cat or that looks like a frog, but the spirit of that could be of something else.
Hmm.
Lady Witch got a seagull
Nice.
as a familiar.
Nice.
Exactly. And again, whether they come in physical forms or spiritual forms, there is a show also called Mayfair Witches where
Oh
there's
yeah.
a spiritual familiar, or I think he's a demon or something,
Yeah.
or a daemon, which is
Wow.
also translated as like, a spirit guide kind of thing, or a familiar where, it's your, again, partner in crime.
Mm-hmm.
Bonnie and Clyde kind of energy, kind of relationship. They have you in one. They have you taken care of in senses you can't.
Yeah.
So yeah, and so I mean that's really it when it comes to familiars. Do you have anything you'd like to say about familiars or like gaining any familiars?
No, I mean you covered gaining familiars because you could call upon them or they can seek you out, but they can work with you on. Okay, so you talked about a physical familiar, but the spiritual familiar and the physical familiar can work with you at a spiritual level on different planes. So,
Mm-hmm.
like in the astral, if you, because we talked about this earlier, about the interdimensional beings and the traveling between dimensions and stuff like that, where your familiar can walk those paths with you, um, in essence, not in, just like we can't do it in physical form, but they can do it in spirit. They can do little missions for you. They can seek out things for you, which you actually brought that up. You know, it's like it's kind of an all-encompassing kind of. Um, I don't want to
Spirit.
use. Well, yeah, but I was trying to use a different word, but guide kept coming up, and that's really not right either. So spirit,
Well, I mean, in a sense, yes. Again, we also said this earlier. I feel like a lot of people mistake spirit guide for guidance counselor,
right?
as not the same thing.
No, they're not here to listen to your problems.
No, they don't care about your problems.
No, and but a lot of people don't realize that, like we talked about with Hecate. I sit and talk to her, and I will spill my guts to her as if she is that type of being
Mhm.
or counselor or whatever, because I'm trying, that is our relationship, that's our bond. But animal, I would love to be able to tell that little thing to just. I would love to have an actual conversation with him, other than go find your toy. You know, that's just. But like in the astral, you can kind of have that
Yeah.
relationship to where they do understand you.
No.
They
Yeah.
do follow commands or lead you to wherever you need to go that maybe you're not aware of, but they do. So it's very interesting, and it's a broad topic, but the, I don't know. And okay, not to be biased with cats, but I feel like that movie Constantine, where he used the cat. What? You've never seen Constantine?
Is that the one with the fucking?
Yes. Oh,
I
okay.
see. When I was getting a tattoo, I told like my first tattoo were the pentagrams on my wrist, and they didn't even look like these, mind you. But I told my godfather about it, and he was like, "No, you don't want to do that. That's too obvious. You should get the Constantine tattoo." And I'm like, "All right, get your fucking gaudy ass out of my sight right now."
First of all, epic movie. I love it to death. Love everything about it. I love everything about that movie. But there's a scene where he's trying to go down into the nethers, and he grabs the cat, and he has one foot in the water, one foot out of the water, and he's like, cats are half in, half out anyway. And that kind of always stuck with me because I do feel like they are, because they pick up on energy. Like my mother, the witch that she is, she's had cats, and her main thing was for storms. She's like, you'll know when to run when a cat freaks out. When the cat gets antsy, there's a problem. A cat will find a spirit before anything else, other than maybe some dogs that are highly attuned.
Mhm.
But like cats are just all purpose to me.
No, I mean I do agree. Cats have that mystical energy to them. I mean they were revered as gods, you know.
Exactly.
So they definitely carry a different mystique energy than any other type of animal.
Yeah.
So I understand and relate to that. I'm a dog person, but I got three mother effing cats.
Yeah, you do.
None of them are in sight.
Phoebe
Like
got up a little bit ago.
Prue is somewhere sleeping in my bed. It's her birthday.
It's her birthday.
She's three.
Hers is still a
Three's a
baby.
child. I know that's what I said to Rowan. I was like, oh, she's just a baby.
Baby.
She's just a baby.
I think he'll be 3 this year.
Oh my god, they need to love each other. They could go out on dates.
You want him to date your precious angel? You know his activities.
You know what?
No, he no doesn't mean no to him.
He's a
So
dog.
yeah,
I gotta, you know. Look,
yeah,
look at him back there.
I know him being
His
so
head
sweet.
got up when I did that.
Him so sweet.
Wait till I see you.
You saw him earlier when he was just sniggling. It was just a sniggling. He was being so sweet.
All right. Well, I think that kind of wraps up tonight's episode on necromancy and building relationships with spirits and
Yes.
all of that jazz. So
Yeah. Is your phone charged?
I don't even know. Oh, my phone's on the floor, so I don't know. I
God
don't
love.
know.
Mm-hmm.
But no, 6%.
Okay. Plug your phone in.
Well, let me hang up on everyone. So you guys have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for joining us on Necromancy Part 2. I hope you guys, thank you, Lady Witch, for being here. I hope you guys will be in here in the next episode for Necromancy Part 3.
Can I say something? I
No,
love. Shut up. I'm going to say it anyway. I love Lady Witch's participation. It makes me happy.
me too. I love Lady Witch. She's
I
so
love
awesome.
the interactive.
Yeah,
Yes. Thank you for being here.
so thank you guys so much, and I will catch you guys in the next episode. Say goodnight, Crescent.
Good night, Crescent.
I love it.